Pippa Woodhead. I'm the digital editor for Property Report magazine. That is a magazine that you'll see out there later on today. Please do help yourself to one on your way out. We are Asia's leading publication for luxury real estate, architecture and design. That's my sales spin that I'll do. The first presentation is Embassy of Canada, Thailand Air Conditioning Energy Saving Project with Continue WM Nets. Speaker is Thomas Gal and Kun Siranrini Wapong from the Embassy of Canada. I'll introduce Thomas first. Thomas has a master's degree in engineering. After gaining extensive international experience as a project manager and quality and process engineer in his early career, he then went on to join the family business. Tout l'Equipement Électrique, very sorry about my French, was established in France in 1980 and has continued to stay at the forefront of sustainable electrical installations in housing and condominium construction. After developing the company in Monaco in the luxury building business, he headed to Asia in 2015 to create Technic Electrical Engineering Thailand, TEE for short. Based in Bangkok, he now invests his deep knowledge of engineering in the industrial and construction arena to focus on energy-saving solutions such as Continue WM, which we are learning about today. Thomas is the president of Bangkok Business Angels and is actively involved with the Franco-Thai Chamber of Commerce and Le French Tech Thailand. My terrible French again, I'm afraid. Thomas, please do come up and Kun Siranrini.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. We are proud to be here today and participate to this first Sustainability and CSR Fair. And we would like to warmly thank all the Joint Chamber of Commerce for organizing such a great event. And how do you see the future of sustainability in Thailand? Well, we'll try to show you how, jointly with the Embassy of Canada, we manage a great project in energy savings with air conditionings. So, Kun Siranrini.
Hello to everyone. My name is Siranrini. I am the property manager at the Embassy of Canada. Over 17 years as the property manager, I have been working and dealing with the contractors, working on many both minor and major projects, the property projects and construction. I am now currently also providing support to the property management both in Thailand, Bangkok, in Phnom Penh, Cambodia, and Vientiane, Laos, and also Yangon in Burma. Currently, the Canada play a major role in negotiating a number of important international agreements, including the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change and its Tokyo Protocol. Canada also helps developing countries' partners implement it. This agreement underscores the connection between poverty, equity, and environmental sustainability, and the need for countries to work together to address global environment issues. After the COP21, Canada has the target of reducing emissions by 30% from 2005 levels by 2030. At the embassy, we also support and working many years on to reducing the power consumption at the staff quarter that we both rent and own at the Chancery and the official residence.
Thank you. I will be very short since I was already introduced. Just to tell you that my passion for Asia and sustainability drives me to found Technic Electrical Engineering Thailand in 2015 to develop innovative and sustainable energy saving solutions in Thailand. And today we are very proud to contribute to a better future with Continue Net, which is the product that we have been working in this project with the Embassy of Canada. So the context in energy consumption in Asia, in Thailand, and in Bangkok, it's quite important to have these figures. And you see on that first chart all Asian countries, and this is the consumption of electricity over the last decades. And as you can see, the red curve is the Thailand consumption. And you can see that it's really skyrocketing. And you can see that other surrounding countries follow the same path. You can see in Bangkok, the electrical consumption is rising about 5% every year. And if you look at the forecast from the Thailand Power Development Plan of 2015, which is quite optimistic already, but if you can imagine that in 2035, the electricity consumption will be double compared to 2012, that would give you an idea of the problematic that we have to face, and that Thailand and Asia have to face. We have to do something, and we have to do it now. So if you imagine double of the consumption, if you imagine doubling the power plants to double the production, that's going to be quite challenging already. So we have to work on both ways, sustainable production of electricity, but at the same time reduction of the consumption. A little bit more in detail, when you look at the consumption by sector in Thailand, you have a few figures here, and you will notice that the first one is industrial sector, and most particularly the food industry, which represents 14% of the consumption of the industrial estate. Well, that makes sense, because food industry in Thailand is one of the biggest, and you have a lot of cold factories, cold storage, you have a lot of brands that produce food here, and they consume a lot of energy due to air conditioning mainly. But also if you look at residential and commercial area, look at department stores, hotels, they consume a lot of energy. And we did a deep study at our clients' premise, and depending on the sector, in offices, well, maybe not here because they are very sustainable already, but 72 to 83% of the consumption of the electricity bill is due to air conditioning. In hotels and resorts, is about 62.5%. These are real data from our clients. 40 to 60% in households, depending on how much you use your air conditioning, what is your occupancy, and so on. What you have to remember at this stage is that about 50% of the air conditioning in general, 50% of the complete electricity bill is due to the air conditioning. So if you have to do something to reduce your energy consumption, if you act on the air conditioning, you will save a lot because it has a major impact of the total electricity consumption. So how was going our collaboration with Thailand?
In a statement at COP21, Canada has made climate change as a top priority. Environmental sustainability is systematically integrated into all aspects of its development work. Global Affairs Canada approach is to help its partner countries create, maintain, and enhance environmental sustainability, particularly in relation to climate change and energy efficiency. Member of committee with other embassies in Thailand to promote sustainability initiatives in Asia. Introduced to Thailand and continued by the Embassy of France. As currently, I am also the member of the Greening Committee at the embassies and also working with the other embassy and the MBA to provide the support for our greening project. Also using the project that is the friendly with the environment.
Indeed, we are performing at the France Embassy administrative building, performance monitoring session, and they introduce us to the Canadian Embassy, and when we present the product and our solution to them, they immediately say, yes, we would like to have a performance monitoring at some of our places, and that's what we did. I will explain you in detail. This is a very short introduction to our solution. Continuum net is a net, as you can see on the first photo, that is easily installed on any kind of air conditioning at the air inlet of the indoor unit. And the net will treat the air, and in particular the moisture in the air. The moisture in the air is made of water molecules, and the water molecules attract together, making big clusters. When the air passes through the net, the air inlet, the big cluster of water molecules are destroyed, making individual water molecules. And this is the key point of continual net, because when the individual water molecules touch the fins of the heat exchanger that is symbolized here, it increases the contact area between the moisture in the air and the fins of the heat exchanger. If we increase the contact area, we improve the heat exchange ratio, we can much faster reach the set point of the temperature, and we can maintain the temperature much more easily and much more evenly in the room. And all these three factors will lead to a big reduction in energy consumption, because you don't need as many energy as it used to be in the coils of the heat exchanger to cool down the air. That's how we save energy. So how we did with the Embassy of Canada, we wanted to measure the performance of the product. So what we did, we just take a very simple tool that everybody knows, is the electricity bill. Everybody pays his electricity bill, so it's something that everybody understands, very simple to read and understand. And we will compare from 1 year to another, after 3 months installation of the net, how was going the electricity bill. At the same time, we wanted to make sure that the conditions were very similar from 1 year to another. So jointly with the Embassy of Canada, we selected the 3 months where the conditions in the apartment were the same, where the tenant with his family were here, present all the 3 months in a row, without friends or family coming in, because if you have more people in your apartment, you will consume more energy. Without them going on holiday. That's what we checked with them, to be sure that we can compare April to April. We also control the outdoor temperature, because if you compare the temperature and your air conditioning consumption in February and in April in Thailand, you will see a big difference, but it's not coming from anything else than the outdoor temperature. So we really control the environment and the outdoor temperature. We check with the Thai Meteorological Department to make sure we have reliable data. And we also check the AC system, if the air conditioning system was functioning well. In this case, they used VRV system and split type system. So here is an example of the checkpoint that we do to verify that the cycles of the air conditioning is functioning well. Then what we do, we install the net, which is something very simple to do. As you see, we open the trapdoor where the air inlet is. You put the net on the top of the dust filter that is already existing, and then after you close, here you see you have fan coil units. So when you close, the performance monitoring period is starting, and we start to receive the new electricity bill. So we compile, we receive all the data from the accounting department of the Embassy of Canada, and we check. This was the previous year. We started the performance monitoring period in November 2016 until January to this year, 2017, and we compare with the previous year in the same months. Keep in mind, same family, same everything. We checked the average temperature, outdoor temperature, over the 3 months, and the difference was just 0.2 degrees Celsius. So the impact of the outdoor temperature is very, very minimal. It's about 2.3% in terms of energy consumption, so it has a very minor impact. And what we did is just comparing. Here you can see a few figures of kilowatt hour and Thai baht. What we did is we measured in kilowatt hour. Not in Thai baht, because you have the fluctuation of the unit price of electricity in Thailand. So if you want to really measure the performance of the solution, we compare kilowatt. And these are the results that we had. 43.4% of savings. When you think about it, it's just incredible, the impact that you can have on the energy consumption. When you look here, you have the detailed data of the average kilowatt consumption every month, the previous year, from November 2015 to January 2016. And you can see, basically, the curve of the consumption follows a little bit the curve of the temperature, okay? And you have the average over the 3-month period. And this is when we install our solution, when we install ContinuumNet. And you can see the average is much lower. It follows the curve of the temperature, but the consumption is much, much lower, 43% lower. So we presented the result to the Embassy of Canada, and basically for one unit, one apartment that we tested, the CO2 emission reduction per year is about over 5 tons of CO2, which is about 10,000 kilowatt hours saved per year, which is enormous. And then the Embassy of Canada decided to equip all their units, some 4 of the units that they have. And when you make an estimation out of 10 years, look how much you can save. More than 200 tons of CO2. It's enormous. It's 400,000 kilowatt hours saved. So that's what the Embassy of Canada is saving today. Then, now you know how we can reduce our footprint on our planet. And thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, both of you. It's really very interesting to learn. Does anybody in the audience have any questions?